Alright, let's do it. It's time for the Morning aMEOWncements! Morning aMEOWncements on the Nightcat with Nightcat YouTube channel. This is the kitsch-minded morning show where we get you ready for the day. I am your host, Nightcat. This is today's co-host, Red. And before we get into the show, which is great, by the way, I'm going to get you caught up on the news with the Morning Mews. Lady Gaga's dogwalker is back to work. Finally, we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to get into the book of unusual knowledge. I'm going to share some fun facts with you. But before we do any of that, this is Red. Red is my bearded dragon. He's enormous. And I was at the thrift store this weekend, and I found the cutest thing ever for this lizard that I thought I wanted to show you as well. Look at this little turtle sandbox. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It even has the little Tykes logo on it and everything. So, obviously, this is a very mini version of it. I can't play in it as much as I would love to, but this little guy can. So, I got him his little sandbox here. Oh, look how handsome he is. Oh, he's got places to be. Don't you jump off that table, mister. Don't you jump off that table, mister. What do you think? Do you love it? He loves it. He's been digging in it, playing around in it. Here is a worm for you because you've been such a good co-host this morning. What do you think? You want that worm? Oh, yeah, he wants that worm. Oh, get it, buddy. These are the same worms that you see me feed the big mean fish on the fish camera. How about there? Ooh. Here, I'll scoot one back so you can see it a little bit better. Ooh, how about that one? Yummy. Get it, get it. Oh, good work. Good job. You're kicking sand literally everywhere. Get back in there. Anyway, so apparently I got this for $4 at the Savers. It was like the best investment of my entire life. And let me tell you something. I found out later that apparently they only made a few of these a long time ago. I don't know if this is the same one or not, but according to legend, they made a few of these a little while ago, and people really wanted them for their doll houses, but they can't find them. And apparently they go for like 40 or 50 bucks on eBay. $4, baby. $4! If you'd like to see me put it together and actually put it in his cage, I made a really great TikTok about it last night. You can follow me on TikTok at Jackson Witt. Jackson with a CK, WHITT. Eventually it's going to change to a Nightcat page, but I'm so lazy. I'm so lazy. What am I supposed to do? He just wants more worms. Maybe later. All right. Well, that's the lizard in the sandbox. I doubt he's gonna stay in it the entire show, but we can give it a try, don't you think? I think we can give it a go. He's a pretty good boy. As long as I just keep him stocked with worms, we should be okay. All right. That's Red, that's the sandbox, and I think it's time for us then to get into the Morning Mews. The Morning Mews is the part of the show where I go through the top pop culture headlines. I get you all caught up so you don't miss anything, so you have stuff to talk about when you get to work and school. Can I help you with something? He's trying to eat my paper. He thinks my paper is a bug. It's not a bug. Sit down, please. Thank you. And we're going to get started with Lady Gaga's dogwalker. Like I said, Lady Gaga's dogwalker is finally out of the hospital. He's out of his at-home rehab, and he's back to work walking Lady Gaga's dogs. Get over here. So he's back to work walking Lady Gaga's dogs. I guess he showed up to the house on Friday carrying gifts in, which, if I was Lady Gaga's dog walker who got shot in the chest protecting her dogs, well, guess what, buddy? I wouldn't be taking any gifts over there. I'd only be taking things. I'd only be stealing stuff from Gaga. Like, hey, your dog's got me shot. Okay? This is gone. So if you don't remember, Lady Gaga's dog walker, he was walking her dogs at night. 3 guys showed up, shot him in the chest, stole the 2 dogs. He went to the hospital. He was in the ICU for like a month from what I understand. And he had to have part of his lung removed because he had... Oh, nope, you're not going that way. He had to have part of his lung removed because his lung kept collapsing. He couldn't get out of the hospital because his lung kept collapsing. It was absolutely bonkers. So... he's finally out. He's gonna be back to work, and he says now apparently he's only gonna be walking the dogs during the day. But he does feel some comfort there because the dogs weren't actually targeted for being Lady Gaga's dogs. They were just dog nappers looking to take dogs and make some money off of them. So he doesn't think that they're going to come after him again, but still, oh, that's so scary. That's so scary. I feel so bad for that poor guy. His lung kept collapsing. He couldn't get out of the hospital. Ariana Grande got herself secret married over the weekend. 25-year-old real estate investor named Dalton Gomez. They met, I think it was like March of last year, right before the pandemic. So they've been pandemic hunkering down together. They got engaged at the end of last year, and they had like a small ceremony at her house over the weekend. 20 people. That's all that showed up to the wedding. That's all they wanted there. So they had 20 people. They had a little wedding. Now, her ring is gorgeous, first of all, but it's this enormous diamond with a pearl on the side. And there's this really cute theory. So the pearl on the side there, she already has one pearl ring. When her grandpa died back in 2014, her grandma made her a ring from the pearls of one of her grandpa's tie pins. So she tore the pearl off, put it onto a ring, gave it to Ariana. And now everyone assumes that the pearl on her wedding ring is the same pearl that was on her other ring, her grandpa's ring. With this and when I say like diamond, I mean like a football-sized diamond next to this pearl. It is beautiful, and if it is her grandpa's diamond, that's so cute. Or her grandpa's pearl, it's so cute I can't even handle it. And finally, Jeff Lowe. We know Jeff Lowe, right? Jeff Lowe, he's the guy in Tiger King who stole Joe Exotic Zoo. Like, came in and said, hey, yeah, I'll be your business partner, and then just stole the zoo away from Joe. Which, listen, I don't think either one of them are great guys, so I don't feel bad for Joe, but I don't like that guy for stealing and lying. So Jeff Lowe, he started, if you don't know, he took over the GW Zoo, the Tiger King Zoo, where Joe Exotic worked, and then he lost that property to Carol Baskin in a lawsuit. So Carol Baskin now owns what was the GW Zoo, and he has all of his animals transferred over to a new zoo that he's called the Tiger King Zoo. Well, the Tiger King Zoo got raided by the feds yesterday, and they showed up with a warrant. They basically told him, hey, here's the warrant. We're here to take 70 animals, and if you leave your house, you're gonna get arrested. So right now, as far as I understand, they're still raiding that place, and the goal is to take 70 animals from the property, citing the Endangered Species Act. Now, I guess this is just like a continuation of a previous investigation, because they showed up earlier this month and they took, from what I understand, like 4 or 6 big cats, and then they came back and they're now taking 70. This all comes on the heel of Jeff Lowe euthanizing a tiger cub. So he euthanized a tiger cub, which goes against the Endangered Species Act. I don't know all of the circumstances around that, but basically the goal now, because of that act, is to take all animals from the property that are under a year old, because they're really trying to put a stop to that tiger cub petting situation that they've had going for a long time. So their goal is to shut the tiger cub petting down, take all of his animals away that are under a year, and take those animals' mothers away as well. So they're trying to move pretty quick, because Jeff Lowe has already said that he and his wife Lauren are going to move all of their animals overseas. That's their plan. They're going to pack them all up. They're going to take them overseas so that they are out of U.S. jurisdiction, which, if you can't not abuse your animals so much that the USDA gets involved, you're a monster. You're a real bad person. Like, just stop trying to hide from the law in other countries that are going to be fine with you abusing your tigers. It's not cool ever, bud. Lowe says, Tiger King made the USDA look so incompetent that they have a vendetta against me and anyone else in the show. This is why we're moving our animals overseas. Or maybe it's not the fact that you made them look incompetent. It's that there was a big fat magnifying glass put on you by that documentary when you were just falling through the cracks before. Maybe if you weren't such a fame chaser, maybe if you hadn't stolen a zoo from somebody, maybe if you took better care of your animals, you wouldn't have problems with the law. Look at this guy. Look how happy he is. He's just trying to get away from me right now. But I'm not getting him taken away. I don't see the USDA coming in and taking any of my animals away. That's because they're well cared for, I hate Jeff Lowe. I hate Joe Exotic too, but I hate Jeff Lowe more. Quite frankly, he is garbage. Just the worst. And he looks like just any affliction bro, like any bro that I worked with at Buckle when I worked at the Buckle, just comes in with his fancy jeans and his affliction t-shirt, just like, hey, yeah, we're gonna make some tires, yeah. Get out of here, Jeff Lowe. No one likes you. And that is the Morning Mews. Quickly, before we continue, I would like to plug our Patreon. Patreon.com/NightCatShow is the place to go if you want to help support this show and all of our other shows. Nightcap with Nightcat every Wednesday night. We've got the Curiosity Killed Nightcat True Crime podcast episodes every Friday. We've got all sorts of stuff going on with Nightcap with Nightcat. If you want to be a supporter, if you want to make it bigger and better, buy more lizard sandboxes, buy more lizards, who knows? Patreon.com/NightCatShow. You can volunteer to donate $3 a month or $5 a month. Get all the information at Patreon.com/NightCatShow. Also, just so you know, our true crime walking tours of downtown Salt Lake City. I will have more very, very soon. If you missed your opportunity to go on the True Crime Walking Tour test shows, don't miss your opportunity to go to the actual thing. We're going to get them going here very soon. If you'd like to get on the waiting list, get over here. If you'd like to get on the waiting list for those true crime tours, that is in the link tree in the description of this video, linktr.ee/Jackson Witt. If you click on that, it'll take you to the Nightcat True Crime Walking Tour waiting list. It'll also take you to the podcast and anywhere else that you might want to go. Isn't that right? He just wants to go back into his house where there's carrots and blueberries, but hey, he's not going to get that right now, is he? All right. Thank you very much. I think it's time then for us to get into the book of unusual knowledge. Here, he's being fussy. I'm going to give him a worm. Shut him up. Look. Oh, is that a worm? What? Oh, see, now you're curious about it. And good. Okay. Now eat your worm and shut up. The Book of Unusual Knowledge. This is just a bathroom reader. I love to dig through it and find weird fun facts to share with you. And this one is fun. This is the origin story of Chef Boyardee. We all know Chef Boyardee. We've all eaten his raviolis before, I'm sure. Now, most like food mascots are made up. It's like a person's likeness with a fake name attached. Chef Boyardee was very real. He was born in Italy in 1897 at Torre Boyardee, demonstrated a talent for cooking at an early age. He immigrated to the United States at age 16 and took on the name Hector, proved his culinary prowess by working in the kitchens of several well-known restaurants in New York. So he moved here when he's 16, immediately becomes like a world-class chef. Everyone knows who he is. They go crazy for him. He is said, by the way, to have catered Woodrow Wilson's second wedding. So he catered a president's wedding. This is big deal. Big serious deal. He was often the kitchen's youngest chef, so he wanted to grow his trademark mustache to make himself look older. Isn't that wild? That's the only reason he had that mustache, is so that he looked older like the other chefs, because he was just like a boy wonder. So after he does all of this, at 24... So from 16 to 24, he's catering presidents' weddings and age identity theft or something. At 24, Boyardee moved with his family to Cleveland. A few years later, he opened his own restaurant. Now, after he opens his own restaurant, he starts bottling his sauce, and people absolutely lost it. Like, they loved this sauce so much. They kept begging him, like, will you start putting this in a to-go container so I can just come buy your sauce? Which he did. And eventually, the amount of sauce he was selling outsold the amount of food he was selling. So he decided to go into the can business. In 1936, Chef Boyardee, excuse me. His name is Boyardee, but we'll call him Boyardee. Boyardee, who had grown tired of explaining the pronunciation of his last name, started selling prepackaged food under Chef Boyardee, and in 1946, he sold the operation to American Home Foods for $6 million. Boyardee died in 1985, but his legacy lives on in the millions of cans of heat and serve pastas sold each year in stores all over the world. Isn't that cute? He's just a cute little Italian chef. I'm gonna make it a pasta. And then he went and he made it a pasta in cans. I ate too much Chef Boyardee as a kid and SpaghettiOs. I can't eat any of that. I can't eat canned pasta. We had so much as a kid. Like, it makes me sick to think about. One time, like, as a radio stunt, they made me, like, eat a spoon of SpaghettiOs, and I started gagging. Cold SpaghettiOs, which is, like, double worse. Double trouble. What do you think? I'm going to make him a little Chef Boyardee costume. I'm going to get him a mustache, a little chef's hat. He's going to love it. And that is the Book of Unusual Knowledge. All right. We talked about the news. We did the Book of Unusual Knowledge. I showed you a lizard sandbox and a lizard who just simply will not go anywhere. He's got places to be. Let's quickly check in on the chat, see how everybody's doing. Good morning, Zizor. Morning, Erica. Brent. Yeah, I don't know what happened yesterday. I noticed our numbers were down quite a bit yesterday. We had like 9 or 12 people, and normally we have somewhere around 20. Apparently most people didn't know we were live, and the video didn't pop up until way later. So Brent was actually the first to tell me, but a bunch of other people told me too. Hi, Brent. Thank you for letting me know. I don't know what happened yesterday, but you're here now. Thank you. Hi. Jessica, good morning. What is that? That's red. You know. You already know. Mindy, Marissa, Katie. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, Rachel. Yes, the worms are alive. It's pretty gross. Sorry about it. I know, not everyone loves it. But he loves eating his worms. He'll only eat them alive. I think he likes the movement. Because I tried to feed him the freeze-dried stuff. He's just not as into it. Oh, good morning, Tara. Tara Lynn, how are you, dear? This is my first time in the comments. I'm usually listening every morning. I'm just usually busy driving to work. Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully you're not at work, but it's for good reasons. Like you're playing hooky or something. Hopefully, you're not at work for the same reason I'm not at work. Let's see. Aw, Zizor. Apparently he saw a video of a shark getting scratches. We all talked about that. Sharks love scratches, it turns out. They're into it. Morning, Sadie. I'm glad you like red. He is very cute. Good morning, Alice. Good morning, Lindy. Yeah, Marissa. It's a huge raid. They're not playing games, and they are locking him in his house so he doesn't have time to move anything around. They took him completely by surprise. I'm so excited for Jeff Lowe to go to jail. I want Jeff Lowe in jail next to the Tiger King so bad, because I think they're both just, like, the worst possible people. Eat your worm and shut up. Zizer, you could say eat your worm and shut up to your kids. I think that's just fine. That's why I'm not a parent, though. Because I'd say things like, eat your worms and shut up. Yeah, doggone tea. SpaghettiOs, they smell like vomit to me. It's probably because I've thrown them up before. I can't eat them. Sorry, I can't do it. SpaghettiOs and I are just not the same thing. Good morning, Willow and Garrick. Hi, Garrick. You want to say hi to Garrick? Hi! He does not like waving. He's not a waver. Yeah, so they need protein. These guys are omnivores. Let me tell you a little bit about bearded dragons, because they're just the best. These guys are omnivores, so they'll eat meat, protein, quote-unquote meat. That's worms, crickets, that sort of thing. He'll also eat, roaches. He loves roaches. But mostly he eats a lot of salads. So he gets like leafy greens, red leaf or green leaf lettuce, mustard greens, and then he gets some sort of carrot or potato or some sort of like, more of like a hearty, starchy vegetable. And then as a snack, he gets blueberries. He's not supposed to eat as many blueberries as he gets, but he loves them. And he's 10 years old. These things live like 10 to 15, up to 20 years if you take really great care of him. He's in his elderly years. If he wants extra blueberries, he can have them. I'm a big proponent of that. Like, if you're 80 and you've been good your whole life and all you want to eat are double cheeseburgers and you want to start doing drugs, fine, man. You waited till you were 80. You win. You get to do whatever you want. Leave 80 years alone. He's basically an 80-year-old lizard. What are you looking at? Where are you going? Oh, do you see the camera now? Now he's very curious about the camera. These guys, like I said, they'll live a long time, so they make excellent pets. I'll say that. Super low maintenance. They eat the salads and the worms, which are really easy to track down. He has never really gotten sick. He's just a real solid championship animal. And I would recommend, if you're gonna get a reptile, I'd recommend a bearded dragon, just because they're very affectionate and they're very cuddly and they're easy to take care of. But just remember that you have to make sure you're taking really good care of them, and they are going to live a while. So if you're not ready for like a 20-year lizard commitment, don't get a lizard. But that's actually how I got this guy. I got him from a guy who said he wasn't ready for a 20-year lizard commitment. So I took him when he was like 2, and I've had him for like 7 or 8 years now. And he's just the best. Now, a lot of people think that bearded dragons are spiky because they see those spikes all up and down their side. If you take a look at the sides of his belly, it's real spiky. But if you touch those spikes, they're actually really soft. And they're really soft because those aren't for defense. Those are actually for camouflage. When we scan a room, what we're looking for is like the shape of things. So I'm looking like, oh, that's camera shape, that's microphone shape, that's laptop shape. We're not looking for details. We're only looking for just the shapes of things. Well, those spikes make him no longer lizard shaped. So if you're scanning an area, you're like, oh, there's a rock, there's a tree, there's just sort of like a blob, he just blends right in because that breaks up his pattern. Native Americans figured that out hundreds of years ago, and that's why they had so much fringe on their clothing, is because if they could stand out in relatively plain sight, and because they were no longer person-shaped, the naked eye would be really easy to skip past them on a tree line or something. So that's the same idea behind those spikes on the lizards. Does anyone have any questions about the lizard? This is what I used to do for a job. Like, I used to take lizards to schools, and I used to talk to kids about them. Yeah, just really cool guys. Really sweet. I love him. He's got like a big old patch of dry skin. So lizards, snakes shed their skin all in one big chunk. They sit and they lose their skin, and they crawl out of it and leave the old one behind, right? We lose our skin in itty bitty little pieces, so small you can't even see them, and then you find them on top of shelves and stuff. With lizards, let's see if I can get any of this off. They shed their skin in big chunks like this. Oh, gross. Isn't that nasty? Just like Austin Powers Gold member. Put it in the skin box, please. Quickly, save me from myself. So he has to get a bath pretty regularly. Otherwise, that shed will stick to his new skin and he won't be able to shed it properly. So he's got to get a bath like in the summer. I usually do it every other week or so, every week. In the winter, he mostly hunkers down and wants to be left alone, so I don't do it as often. And he's not eating as much, he's not growing as much, he's not shedding as much during the winter, so I don't think it's as important. But yeah, he's got all of his toes. He's got lots of loose skin on his belly. Ugh, shedding like crazy, buddy. All right, it's gross. I'm sure you don't want to see me here peel all the skin off my off the lizard. All right, the forbidden chip. That's disgusting. Okay, I gotta go. You leave me and my son alone. We're not gonna eat him. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to the fish for 3 minutes of fish because apparently we haven't done enough animal news today. Have a great. I almost said have a great day. Have the day that you deserve. Bye. Bye. You say bye? Bye. That's his voice. I don't know what to tell you. Bye.